Bon dia, Gumpers. How's it going? Do let us know in the chat if you will. James to come at 8:20 and Tig. You may have seen a little tease going on with the show notes. What if the UK rejoins the EU? There seems to be a little bit of there's murmurings of that, aren't there? There does seem to be a large political process afoot in the UK to have the UK rejoin the EU. I wonder what that would look like. Let's talk to Tig about that at 8:40 this morning. Lots of news, weather, language, culture, and a bit of well-being from the coach this morning. So let's crack on with that, shall we? Yes, Mike, good call. Bon dia, Gumpers. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Did you? Send in your pics and vids to 913-590-303. I'm busy in the house with the weather the way it's been. Oh, let's start with that, shall we? The final numbers are in then. We'll come back to a general look at the weather. But the numbers are in for January. What a shocking month in terms of the 300 days of sunshine. I was measuring rigorously. Who doesn't like a rigorous measurement first thing in the morning? The main reason I started this group, that's the Portuguese Life group with Munson and the Geezer on Facebook. And we're on tonight, not tomorrow night, 7 o'clock this evening. And we have an interesting topic tonight. Men only want one thing. Is that true? We will be discussing that this evening, as we do with gay aplomb in our usual way, on the same day that Bianca Censori was perhaps sending a message to all of humanity, not just the men, about what men might be fixated upon. Quite extraordinary. Anyway, if you want to join that conversation, make sure you do that at 7 this evening. And at 8, by the way, single grape wines here in Portugal for under a tenner. I've got mine from just down the road, actually, with the Castelao grape. So that's today's programming. That's my single grape wine, the Castelao grape from Monte Capuccio, which is just down the road. I believe they're brewing. That's not the right word, is it? Nor is distilling. They are fermenting out of Alcobaça, just down the road. So that's a great company. They do a nice Chardonnay as well, actually. Excellent company, and I would love to have your company slightly remixed and not revived. It didn't need reviving, but just a new thing, a new approach. We're going to keep it quite strict to the online tasting part between 8 and 8:30. And then the bit that's been great fun over these last 5 years with the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club is the lock-in thereafter. So we'll go straight to our lock-in at 8:30. And you are invited if you'd like to have a drink with us. You can join us on screen from 8 with your single grape variety under €10. And also, please join us in the lock-in as one of the perks of being a GMP VIP, a Portugal Club member. Sign up, as you can see on the screen there, at gmpvip.com if you haven't done so already. Right, let me take a look then at a very interesting news story in the Bon Dia Daily this morning, where expats, foreigners, immigrants into Portugal were part of a TV feature on Sick Noticias over the weekend. I got a message from Bobby. Say, hey, your mate Jerry's on the telly, and quite right, he was too. Dream Without Borders was the name of a TV feature. I'm going to run that in the background at a low volume so you can hear. There you go. Hear that in the background. There you go. Yeah, Sick Noticias then. Dream Without Borders.
La campagne est magnifique. On allait à la montagne, on faisait des randonnées.
This is a Six report interviewed retirees from a wide range of prejudice,
and no guns.
Wow, how about that? I'm going to turn the volume down so I can actually hear. Isn't that amazing? Well done, everybody who appeared in that from our migrant community. Bit of moaning, I think, as well. But it was a nice, all-round, varied and balanced report in many ways. But Dream Without Borders is the name of it. And I will put in the link to it into the chat for you so you can have a look for yourself. But it's an almighty 16-minute feature. 6 special report interviewed retirees from a wide range of geographical origins who shared the reasons that led them to choose Portugal to live in after many years of work. There you go. Let's have a listen. Have a little bit of a listen. How much of this are you picking up?
Se intensificou sobretudo na última década. É o caso de Jürgen Mayberger, que se mudou do Reino Unido para Lausanne em 2021.
I wouldn't have been able to retire in England, so it is definitely a positive side effect to live here. Everywhere the prices have gone up. It doesn't matter where you look in England, the prices have gone up in the UK, in Germany, and obviously in Portugal as well. But I think we have a better life here in Portugal than we would have in England.
O custo de vida mais baixo deixou o antigo diretor de vendas de uma empresa alemã de químicos encontrar uma vida mais tranquila e com tempo para gastar, por exemplo, na paixão por construir Legos. Difícil é a comunicação com os locais, mas há sempre quem fala inglês.
We have a community of expats that we see on a not regular basis, but quite often. We have connections to Miranda Rugby Club, and they do events every few weeks, and we go to these events and support them.
How about that then? That's quite amazing, isn't it? Dream Without Borders then. The link for that is in the chat if you want to have a look at that for yourself. Jerry Lawler there from Expats Portugal featured. Well done, Jerry. Good job too on that. All right, Mel's also in this morning. Bon dia from Simply Live. Mel. Jackie's in. Bon dia, Gampers. 7 o'clock tonight, Jackie. Munson and the Geezer has changed from a Tuesday to a Monday evening. Munson and the Geezer at 7. Good morning, Portugal Wine Club at 8. Hugh is in. Good morning. Cold. -1.5. Mrs. M was complaining about how cold it was this morning. I didn't find it so much this morning myself. Yeah, and Pam, good to see you, Pam. And thank you for introducing Emma to us. That's been a very well-watched episode and a lot of excitement and thanks coming in for Emma. So thank you too on that. Obrigado. Other thanks as well. A bit more VT to roll for you this morning before we welcome James. The outgoing American ambassador. That's a lovely little video, actually, that I'd like to share with you. A couple of minutes. And the outgoing ambassador, as well as giving a thank you speech and a great acknowledgement of the time here in Portugal, it's a lovely little cultural trip as well. So enjoy this. This is we're making way for John Arago, aren't we? I think he's already in post. And this is the lady who was doing the job before him with a very heartfelt thank you to Portugal. It's interesting, even if you're not an American citizen. I found this very interesting.
Hola. Today is one of my final days serving as U.S. ambassador to Portugal. It is, of course, bittersweet for Jeff and I to be leaving this country we have come to love so very much. But today is also my opportunity to say obrigada. Obrigada to the Biden administration for the opportunity to represent the United States here for the last 3 years. Obrigada to you, the Portuguese people, who have welcomed me into your businesses, halls of government, cultural institutions, and your homes, and shown so much appreciation and support for both me and Jeff and the country that we represent. As many of you know, I have traveled across Portugal, visiting the small villages and towns that give this country its unique personality. I've met lace makers in Madeira, gold filigree artists in Gondomar. I've stunk grapes in Alentejo, walked in the Carnival parade in Torres Vedras, and learned the history of the Jewish community in Belmonte. Along the way, together, we have found so many ways to deepen our shared culture and values through events like the Celebrating Diversity Art Exhibition, Lusafania Black History Month concerts, and culinary diplomacy programs in underserved communities, all bringing the U.S. and Portugal even closer together. This progress is also clear in our amazing trade and investment numbers. U.S. investment in Portugal quadrupled in 2023, and the U.S. is the largest foreign investor outside of the EU. Our long-standing defense partnership continues to flourish, from investments in our airbase at Lajes Field to our support for Portugal's first ever Arctic submarine expedition. And I will never forget hosting Portugal's Ministers of Defense and Justice aboard the Harry S. Truman aircraft carrier, a vibrant symbol of our security partnership. I have learned that Portugal is a country so proud of its extraordinary history, but with its gaze firmly set in the future. Our shared work in tech and innovation and our strong partnerships in the renewable energy sector will solidify our business ties and launch us together into the next decades. But what Jeff and I will miss the most is the warmth and hospitality of the Portuguese people. As my time here comes to an end, My best memories will always include traveling across this beautiful country, from Madeira to Guimarães, from the Azores to the Algarve, from Alentejo to Covilhã, meeting leaders and citizens alike. This has brought us untold joy, and we will always be proud of the foundation that we have built for an even brighter future. Obrigada, Portugal. This isn't goodbye, it is até já. As you can see, Jeff and I will always hold Portugal in our hearts.
Very nicely done there. That's Randy Levine, who's making way for John Arago, the new US ambassador. And yeah, she was nominated and US ambassador since November 2021. Nicely done there. Culinary diplomacy. Dan, you know who the new ambassador is. I've shown you a picture of him before. Let me just remind you. He's the guy on the right of this picture. There he goes. John Arago on the right there, known for his crazy commercials from his car dealership in Florida there. So I would love to talk to John Arago on the show. He seems like quite an accessible person. She mentioned Covilhã. Nice, says Mr. S. And commiserations from Pete. Morning, Pete. Bon dia, alegria. I hope you had a great weekend. Hope you all had a great weekend. My sympathies go out to the ambassador. If she had a local beer in Belmont, the two should be gone in about 8 months. John, yesterday, my cuñado caught a 40-inch, 21-pound pike. They're a fearsome looking, they're like a dinosaur among fish, aren't they? A prehistoric looking fish. 1 meter, 9.5 kilos. Winter ice fishing in Minnesota. Picture sent. That's a big, big fish. Looking forward to seeing that. I'm just having a look. Wow, size of that. Okay, thank you very much as well for your correspondence, T-Duck, to this morning. What's that? Right, and fill my cup. That's just it as well. Excellent stuff. And Coach Turner on the way. Oh, I see on the Eurostar there. That's lovely. I'll pop that picture up that you sent me there. And thank you for your Crayola crayon meme as well. My money is on Mike Pillow. What's that? It means Mike Pillow. Are you making me say something really bad there, Pete? Have you pranked me there? Douglas also in with a bon dia. We've talked about the weather a little bit. Minus 1.5 in from Hugh in Visio. Let's see what's going on with the weather for this coming week then. And a nice well-being message from the coach as well. For those of you who like the holistic health stuff, we're waiting for more of that well-being team. If you could send that in to us, that'd be great. Other videos from other angles of the health compass as well. Coach Turner doing a great job, of course, of keeping an eye and keeping a bit of advice for us to one side for us to peruse at our leisure on physical well-being, growing old disgracefully, of course, with the coach. Let me bring the weather onto the screen and have a look at how it might shape up this week. Is My Pillow guy? Yes, talking of great American commercials, I think that's the great US commercial genre, isn't it? That John Arago is sporting, as well as Mike Lindell, the pillow guy. Lindell? I wonder. I'm sure you'll tell me. Right, Lisbon. Look at this, sunny in the capital and the top sibling city of Porto and Coimbra as well. 9 degrees in Lisbon at the moment. It's going to rise to 15. That's a nice looking day. A nice looking winter's day in the capital. It's going to be cloudy tomorrow, but we've seen the worst of the rain, at least for a little while. That may return towards the end of the week. Porto, 4 degrees at the moment. Yeah, a bit chilly. Excuse me for one moment. I've still got a few of these little coldy constipado symptoms, but I think that's behind me, like the worst of the rain as well. Porto, 4 degrees at the moment with a clear sky. High of 14, 13 tomorrow and cloudy. A little bit of rain possibly, is it? Yeah, I think so. And a cloudy, sunny Wednesday and Thursday of this week. Coimbra, 5 degrees, will rise to 14 today. Cloudy day tomorrow, but sunny from Wednesday to Saturday. That's nice, isn't it? Faro, sunny today with a high of 15 and 9 at the moment. Bit cloudy, but sunny on Wednesday and Thursday. Cloudy day Friday and a sunny weekend to come for Faro this coming weekend. Braga. Oh, we need to see how the weather's looking for Batalha. Batalha will be Leiria, will it not? or is it Santarém? Braga, clear sky at the moment, 6 degrees, rising to 15, and a sunny day in store for Wednesday and Thursday. Let's say that Batalha is in Leiria, so it's going to be a nice weekend for the Expats Portugal gathering, at least a Friday afternoon, Saturday, and a little bit cloudy on Sunday, but still a nice mild 14 degrees. So see you there if you're heading to Batalha. We'll see Filomena there. And to let you know as well, there's the weather for you. And don't forget, you can request your particular district of residence or interest if you'd like me to have a look at the weather there. We've got, the Batalha weekend. Filomena is going to be there, and also a good weekend for hanging out with Filomena, as well as Thursday, also hanging out with Filomena. And on the Expats Portugal webinar this week, discover Portuguese etiquette, greetings, gratitude, apologies, and more, especially for the Brits there. Portuguese language and culture session with Filomena at 7:30. Catch that live as an Expats Portugal member on Thursday at 7:30, or watch the video replay on Sunday from 6 o'clock. Last week's tax efficiency tips has been published now on the Expats Portugal channel. Right, let's go to the coach for some well-being. This will fit in beautifully, I'm thinking. First of all, though, big fish and the journey to Portugal for the coach. Let's have a look at the Cunhado's pike. Didn't think I'd ever say those two words together. But look at that. That is a great big fish right there, isn't it? And pike are edible, I think. They're a bit of a bottom feeder, aren't they? No one likes a bottom feeder first thing in the morning. Maybe for dinner. They're a bit muddy and earthy, I think, aren't they? Are they not, pike? Don't tell them your name, Pike. And also from the train heading to Portugal on another road trip, the coach and Mrs. Coach are heading this way. Good morning to you, Ian and Leslie. Boa viagem to you. Let's go over to the coach now for a little bit of a God Squad well-being fitness advice.
Bon dia, Gumpers, and welcome to episode 4 of Growing Old Disgracefully 2025. I promised to talk about knees this week because I talked about squats last week, and people are concerned with squats because they may damage your knees. They shouldn't if you do the squats correctly, and the main part of that is keeping your toes and your knees in line with each other. So if you're just keeping your feet close together and parallel, you should be okay. If you want to do a sumo style squat, so you're spreading your legs a little more, keep your toes in line with your knees, and you should be fine. The same applies to walking. Keep your toes in line with your knees, which really means forwards and backwards and parallel with each other. That will ease any pressures on your knees, twisting pressures, because that's what happens to damage them. Also, if you're changing direction quickly, try not to do it on a standing foot. Try and come up, use the ball of your foot to twist, because then you don't put pressure on your knee. If you leave your foot fully flat on the floor and you start to turn around, you're putting twisting pressures on your knee. Last point, if you're finding your glutes are getting a little less strong, you may find as you walk or as you stand, your knee begins to dip in. And that's caused by weakness in the glutes here. So if you're finding that, do some strengthening exercises for those. There's plenty around online, you'll find those. And that will help support the knee and prevent it getting worse too quickly, because it happens to all of us as we get old. Hope that helps. Look forward to seeing you next week and the week after at the party. Ciao.
Woohoo! The party! So get your knees in shape for the party. We will have the music loud enough so you don't have to listen to your knees creaking on the dance floor. And we may have paramedics St. John's standing by at Hernia's Discotheque on the 15th of February here in San Martino de Porto. On that note, a quick Bon Dia Daily Deal. And that'll be, no, not that. this one. Oh, that's I didn't actually give you the stats today. It was 19 days of sun, 12 of no sun in January. I know James loves that scientific study right there. He may want to pick up on that when we speak to him. Yep, 20. If you want to treat yourself when you're coming to the party, we've got a nice mates rate for GMP VIPs of 20% off at the Storytellers Palace. It's not the cheapest place to stay in San Martino de Porto, so that works out a pretty big discount there. So mates rates there, and you'll find that discount code over at the Portugal Club. Let's welcome to the stage, shall we? The old guy in Europe, everybody. And let's play his. James, you thought I was just going to bring you on and not play your tune. I thought that as well, and then I remembered. Where are you? Oh, there you are. That's
Bom dia!
love the music. It's so cheerful, isn't it? So cheerful. Oh, no. Tudo bem, como está?
Muito bem, obrigado. Contigo.
Muito bem, obrigado. Muito bem. Não,